Hello and good afternoon, all of you. First of all, we welcome on behalf of CAS CSAWM MPKV Rahuri of Dr. Syed Fajal, Rahiman, Khadri for this session. Welcome, sir, for this session. And today's topic is how to avoid plagiarism and editing process. Dr. Khadri has total 38 years experience in research and conducting different projects, guided PhD students, PG students. He has published a total more than 86 research articles, more than 5 NAS rating impact factor journals. He has awarded number of awards. For example, awarded first rank with distinction and gold medal in MSc Geology from Adrat University, awarded British Council Fellowship in 1984, awarded SRF by NSF, USA and CSIR, New Delhi, received ICCA Young Scientist Award and number of awards he has received in his service. So I request Dr. Khadri sir to please deliver today's lecture, sir.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you for your brief introduction. Indeed, it is a great pleasure for me to talk something before you regarding how to avoid plagiarism and editing process. Actually, this is a very interesting topic because many people, particularly the students, may not be aware of this kind of things now, which has been come into force. Particularly UGC in its regulation 2018 has given the guidelines for the avoiding plagiarism. So, what is plagiarism? I just go from the basics and how and why you should care for it, because previously people were not aware of that one. So this is a very interesting topic which in every researcher must know it. If you define the plagiarism is the act of presenting the words, ideas, images, sounds, or the creative expression of others as your own. This is the basic definition of the plagiarism. It is actually, in general, if you think, it is a significant problem on almost every college and university campus. It's very means because many people are doing plagiarism without knowing it. Means unintentional. There are two types actually. One is unintentional, another is because of ignorance. Problem of plagiarism go beyond the campus and have become an issue in industry, journalism, and government activities. According to the Merriam-Webster online dictionary, plagiarism means to steal and pass off the idea or words of another as one's own, to use another's production without creating the source, to commit literary theft, one sort of theft only, to present as new and original idea on product derived from an existing source. So this is the basic this thing. The following are considered as plagiarism. You must know what are the things that can be considered studying in someone else's work as your own. This is the part. This is one sort of plagiarism. Copying words or ideas from someone else without giving the credit to that particular person, to the original article, whatever it is. Failing to put a quotation in quotation marks. Giving incorrect information about the source of a quotation. That is also one sort of plagiarism. Changing words but copying sentence structure. Copying so many words or ideas from a source that is makes up the majority of your work, even though by credit. So, in general, the plagiarism can be grouped into two categories: deliberate and accidental plagiarism. Deliberate means intentional, means knowingly you are doing the plagiarism, steals the property of somebody else and claims it to be his own. This is the deliberate intentional plagiarism. And second one is accidental, unintentional plagiarism. Normally it happens because of ignorance, because of unknowingly. Somebody unknowingly cites a phrase or copies words without acknowledging another of the material. This is known as this thing. So actions that might be seen as plagiarism, you can just see the flow chart. Actually, buying, stealing, or borrowing a paper, using the source too closely when paraphrasing, hiring someone to write your paper, So building someone's ideas without citation, copying from another source without citing on purpose or by accident. So this can be divided into deliberate and possible accidental plagiarism. So in order to avoid plagiarism, there are two methods one has to follow. One is the plagiarism prevention, another is plagiarism detection. Because you must know, because when you are reading a paper, you do not know whether it is a paper that has been plagiarized or it's the original article. So one should know how to detect the plagiarism, and when you are writing some article, you must know how to prevent the plagiarism. So plagiarism prevention is collaborative effort for recognize and counter plagiarism at every level. Educate students, particularly from the educational institutions and research institutions. We must educate the students about the appropriate use of intellectual material, because the research papers are nothing but the intellectual property rights, intellectual materials. Minimize the possibility of submission of plagiarized content, and then plagiarism prevention is difficult to achieve, but also it is not that easy to detect. So according to this, I will avoid. Do you know the word plagiarism comes from the Latin plagiarius, meaning kidnapper. This is the actually original meaning of the this thing in Italian language, Latin. It is like that. And then, why is plagiarism important? Who really cares? If you ask the question, plagiarism is theft of intellectual property, and it is nothing but cheating. Plagiarism may result in receiving zero for the assignment. Suppose a student has submitted an assignment, and where he was caught, or it has been proved that he has just plagiarized the paper, then he will get 0 marks. Refer to the middle school this thing, and then what is it and how to avoid it. So official definition is to use the words or ideas of another person as if they were your own words or ideas. To steal and pass off the ideas or words of another as one's own without creating the source. To commit literary theft, present as new and original. This is one. Then what does plagiarism look like? Copying someone's work, cut and paste, citing a source improperly, failure to cite a source, creation of false sources, turning another person's work as your own. These are the qualities of plagiarism. Consequences and punishments, actually failure of assignment, and actually in the end, I will tell you what are the UGC guidelines existing in force for the plagiarism, which has been categorized into 4 levels actually. So to avoid plagiarism, you must quote, you must reference the original source, then it cannot be called as a plagiarism. The text produced is the exact length of the original text quoted, and you must use the original author's exact words, and you must put quotation marks around them, then it is allowed. You must include the page number of the source from which you borrowed the author's original language. You can introduce quotes with phrases like according to Bob Jones, something like that. Something like that, you have to follow it. Then it cannot be how to cite actually. Normally, Modern Language Association, MLA it is called as, actually there are guidelines, full guide to citations, which can be found on their website. So this is the website link I have given, wherein you can just know how to cite the papers of others. Then coming to the text citation, actually it will be indirect quote. Some researchers note that children are totally insensitive to their parents. Means you have to quote, means you have taken this sentence from actually a particular paper or article or book or whatever it is. So you must give the quotation. This is indirect this thing. Whereas direct quotation is children are totally insensitive to their parents. Then you can see 62, that is the actually number of your reference you are giving in the references. So like that. Then in text citation, for example, from a book or journal article, actually page number, last name, title of this thing can be given. From an online source, suppose if it is an online source, use either the author's name, or if the page has no known author, article title in parenthesis, then you should give the last name or article title. Then what is a work cited? A work cited is a list of sources that goes at the end of your paper, or that means references presentation that tells the reader all the sources you have used. And even in the text also, you have to quote that one. Not just giving the references in the end will not serve the purpose. Whatever the material you have taken from original article, it must be quoted there itself, giving, for example, there are more than two three others. If there are two others, x and y, and year you can give. Otherwise, if there are more than five six others, then you give the first name et al, and then you go give the year. So this is a normally and should be given. So this is the number, actually examples in the book: author's last name, author's first name, title of the book, city of publication, publisher, and the year of publication, medium of publication. This can be given. This most of you already knows how to cite the articles, and then entire website also it can be done. Important reminders are: always double check all your citations for accuracy, because when you have cited, sometimes you might have done mistake. So you have to the your references part as well as the place, exact place where you have cited, you just check for the accuracy, proper formatting, author and page numbers, they are correct or not, you have to check it in order to avoid the plagiarism. Make sure all yours in text citations match the sources listed in the work cited. Then anyone reading your work should be able to easily locate the original source of any material you use it in your own work. So then it cannot be considered as a plagiarism. It is properly cited. So in order to avoid plagiarism, you must cite properly so that the original source need to be cited. Then good sources are university, press, Harvard, Cambridge, major publication houses. You have the, and then known organizations. So these are some of the well-known newspapers, and then well-known media sources. So like that. Then you should never quote Wikipedia, personal blogs, non-creditable newspapers, magazines, and then all those kind of things, because they are all biased and they are not correct. So this an example of this thing. Thousands of Rohingya refugees stranded near Bangladesh, Myanmar border. This is UN this thing. So means how it can be quoted for different newspapers. Actually, it has been given. So I will just skip some of these things so that we have a lot of paraphrasing a source. Actually, also is very important to understand the plagiarism property. Quoting a source, for example, a UNESCO spokesperson, Mercado, emphasized the need for more funding, stating that Rohingya children have already endured atrocities. So this is actually quoting from the this thing. So you have to take that particular, when you are saying that one, you must quote that particular this thing by quoting from UN. So something like that. You have to just follow work cited. I'll just skip some of the things. The secret of creativity is, as per the Albert Einstein. Actually, you know, he doesn't need any introduction. The secret to creativity is knowing how to hide your sources. Creativity is knowing how to hide your sources. The key to originality is hiding your sources. That's what he says. These are some of the things. I'll skip some of these things. These are some of the just I wanted to show you how an example of original paper and plagiarized paper. This is the original paper which has been published in 2007, and then you can just see in 2009 another paper published by somebody else with having the same this thing, same content. I'll just show you. Yes. See, this is the original paper, and then this is the same title paper from others, particularly they are from the Indian these things. So this kind of, this is a one of the best example of plagiarized paper. Means more or less paper is the same, even including the title, but the others are different. So this is called plagiarized paper, which
Hello. Hello, sir. Uh, okay, sir. Okay. Yeah. Okay, sir. Okay, okay, sir. Please join, sir. Oh, please slideshow, sir.
Yeah.
Hmm. Slideshow.
Is this coming?
Yes, sir. Slideshow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Fine, sir.
Okay. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. So then there is a patch writing. Means patch writing is copying from a source text and then deleting some words, then altering grammatical structures or plugging in. So patch writing is also not correct. A student who patch writes copies from a source and then deletes the words, alters grammatical structures and uses one synonym for the another. That is also a part of this thing. Perspective on the scale of the problem is the new plagiarism requires little efforts and is geometrically more powerful because now you have all the electronic media and sources. So doing plagiarism is much easier when compared to previous times. So one has to be careful in doing this one. So these are some of the case studies. I want to just skip it. Then coming to the unintentional plagiarism when native language is not English. See what happens. Sometimes you will be doing plagiarism without knowing because since English is the native language is not known. One of the most difficult tasks in writing in a second language is paraphrasing. Actually, putting someone else's ideas into your own words. Actually, then so one should try to understand the root causes. Means technical, compulsive, and cultural. Poor time management skills, and an inability to cope up with the workload, lack of motivation to excel because of perception, and then so coming to the some of the quotations, the writer should completely know the identity of the text origin, the language of the text, and context of a source. Strategies that institutes use of minimize plagiarism. Actually, for minimizing the plagiarism, one minute, and then just absence of plagiarism is not enough. One can change the words and paraphrase well. One minute. So policies of academic honesty have a dedicated team for the purpose. Then every institute should carefully and stringently formulate policies for the academic honesty, and no plagiarism should be our motto. And then implement warning. Then some sort of remedial measures need to be taken, particularly at the institute levels. Whereas means most of the institutes now, as per the UGC guidelines, have strong anti-plagiarism policies, and one has to practice them. That is very important. How to cite the sources? Actually, as per the plagiarism.org says, when sources are very important to your ideas, mention the author, work in a sentence that introduce your citation. If making a minor point, use references, footnotes, and endnotes. There are also different forms of citation for different disciplines and journals. Quote when the original author expresses an idea is the most effective means of communicating the point. List references. Actually, the author's names, title of the work, journal or publisher, date of publication, and page numbers need to be given. Footnotes are often used to make an interesting comment to a sentence, but the comment is not directly related to the argument of your paragraph. I will just skip some of this. The beauty of originality is knowing that cheating can kill your creativity. This is the actually quotation from Albert Einstein. So this is the actually one should follow. Designing unique assignments to minimize opportunity for plagiarism. So normally when we are giving assignments to the students, actually we need to design unique assignments so that plagiarism can be prevented by designing assignments that expect learners to respect others' ideas and strive to create original work. And then expect learners to present original work, provide opportunities for learners to develop new ideas, because we should encourage the students to develop their own new ideas rather than copying and cutting and pasting from other sources, because that will give you a lot of disfame. So that has to be this thing. Then coming to when how to avoid plagiarism comes, take notes and keep them organized. You should give other people credit, because whoever is responsible for the original this thing, you must make a habit of giving credit to the others. Cite the sources you use, means including the images, figures, all those kind of things. Double check your sources and make sure that you wrote down the information correctly. So these are the basic these principles one should follow to avoid the plagiarism. So one should keep in mind plagiarism is totally wrong. Actually, it is nothing but cheating. There is saying that cheaters never prosper. So this is what happens if a person does plagiarism intentionally. So that is very interesting. And then the internet has made it easier for a student to plagiarize, because everybody searches for the easiest methods, particularly students, because of their other activities and other things, they normally are tempted. But we should teach the moral values to the students that plagiarism need to be avoided. And then a student uses Google to find an excellent article. Next, the student copies it and put it into the teacher, submit to the teacher. The teacher believes that student wrote this paper if you don't check the plagiarism. So one has to be very careful. You should not go for Wikipedia and other things, and that will give you misleading information. A student copies an article from magazine and gives it to their teacher, that also this thing. So it is not allowed at all. The plagiarism is not at all allowed. One has to make your own ideas, and at university level also it is not allowed. You can become a better writer if you do your own work. You should read the papers and try to understand the things and then try to write your own sentences. Do not copy or plagiarize from the internet, books, newspapers, magazines, or any other sources. So normally how often it happens? Actually, a study of almost 4,500 students at 25 schools suggests that cheating is a significant problem in high schools. Particularly, 74% of the respondents admitted to one or more instances of serious test cheating, and 72% admitted to serious cheating on writing assignments. So over half of the students admitted they have engaged in some level of plagiarism or written assignment using the internet. So this is actually one should try to understand. Students, if you have included the words, then you should try to be careful. You should try to avoid the plagiarism from the beginning itself. Then, as I told you, intentional and unintentional. Means intentional plagiarism means copying a friend's work or some other others this thing, buying, borrowing papers, cutting and pasting blocks of text from electronic sources without documentation. All those kind of things are media borrowing, using Google Image without documentation, web publishing without permission of the creators. Whereas sometimes careless paraphrasing, because you are not aware, you are not expert, poor documentation, actually then quoting excessively, failure to use your own voice, taking work you have created elsewhere and turning it again without changes. So for that, actually, if you ask a person who has done unintentionally or sometimes intentionally, he has lot many excuses. Means some students, it has been surveyed, they said the assignment was boring, everyone does it. So people have that kind of common ideas. My teachers expect too much and I have less time. So like that, it's okay if I don't get caught. So this kind of ideas normally students, uh, and I parent bosses expects a grade. So because some of the students they by hook or crook they want to get a higher grade because of the fear from the parents and other this thing. So from the society and all. So these are some of the things. It is just a picture I found online, so I had put it. These are there are lot many excuses. They have their own justification, but which is not valid. So lot many excuses can be a person who has done it will give, but it is not allowed. So you need to choose academic integrity. That is very important. Means your academic reputation is valuable for you. So that is the reason why when you copy or cheat yourself, you limit your own learning because you are not able to, the consequences are not worth the risks. So it is only right to give credit to others whose ideas you use it. You can always use the work that has been done by others, but properly quoting them, you can avoid that cannot be considered as plagiarism if you properly give credit to them. That is basic idea is the person who has done the original work need to be given the credit. So the only right to give credit to the others whose ideas you use it, and citing gives authority to the information you present. Because when you give in your article, so you are giving due credit to the persons who have already done it. So citing makes it possible for your readers to locate your source actually, because you are citing, so they can go to, if they want to have further information, they can go to the source and then verify in that one. So uh, education is not an us actually versus them. It's not a game. It is about learning to learn. So cheating is unethical behavior. So one has to understand this very carefully. Real life examples also can be given to prominent historians. Historians actually caught Stephen Ambrose and Doris Keane Goodwin. So it has damaged the reputation. The person has some person has left the job. So like that, these are the things that can happen. So one has to be careful that there will be real life consequences are there. For example, New York Times senior reporter Jason Blair forced to resign after being accused of plagiarism and fraud. So this kind of thing. So one has to be very careful. So if you know the consequences, normally you don't feel like doing the plagiarism, because plagiarism intentionally, if you do it, it will create a lot of bad reputation to you. So it is worthy the risk actually. You will get zero on the assignment even if you have done a lot of other work. It will refer to the disciplinary committee, suspension or dismissal from the activities, and student record will be there. It will be there. Loss of reputation among the this thing. So these are the this thing. So then the question comes: do I have to cite everything? Because one should understand whether because since you know the consequences, for that actually no need to documentation. However, in doubt, you have to cite, because if you are quoting some facts that are widely known, if it is a widely known facts, no need of this thing. Information or judgments considered common knowledge doesn't require any citation. But wherever you have doubt, it has to be cited. If you are sure certain common knowledge things not required to be cited, whereas but wherever, but you should be 100% sure about it. If you are not sure about it, whenever you have got doubt, you always cite, because to safeguard your reputation. That is very important. Common knowledge examples means John Adams was second president of US. And then Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor on December 7th. These are the common things. Everybody knows it. So it doesn't require any this thing. Common knowledge. However, when it is doubt, when you are giving some information with some data and doubt, you need to be, and if you are giving some data, you have to quote it. Some common knowledge examples. So that doesn't require this thing. No need to document when you are discussing your own experiences. So the plagiarism doesn't arise if you discuss your own things and write in your own sentences, compiling the results of original research you have carried out from your science experiments. You're using common knowledge, so it doesn't require this thing. So I will just skip some of the things. So normally, wrong paraphrasing original ideas without documenting your source is plagiarism. Because if I change a few words, I'm okay, right? Some people think like that. Means if I change few words, I'm okay. That is not correct. Wrong paraphrasing that comes under wrong paraphrasing phrasing. Actually, original ideas without documentation, your source is plagiarism. So you can borrow from works of others in your own work, but you have to give the others credit. One should remember this very carefully. You can borrow the work from the work of others in your own work. You can include it. You can, because you are going to give in references. But at the same time, it should be quoted in the paragraph itself, wherever you have taken. You have to give the others the credit. That should be, you should understand. Otherwise, this is why we cite our sources. At the end of this thing, normally we cite the sources, then there is no problem. Use in text in project documentation. When you use an original idea from one of your sources, whether a quote or paraphrase, you summarize original ideas from one of your sources. You use factual information that is not common knowledge. Cite to be safe. It is always better to cite it so that you are quote directly from a source. You use a data or fact that might be disputed. So you need to give the source for that one. So there is one link I am giving you. Test your skills. The site is Right Quiz. See how to this thing. Particularly, this is from the library. This thing, wherein EduSat educational module regarding the plagiarism, which gives you some of the guidelines to test your skills. Means what are the information when you are planning to write a research paper. One should try to understand this one. Then how do I cite in my papers? Actually, parenthetical citations are usually placed at the end of a sentence before the period. Means if you have given some particular quotation, after the end of the quotation, cite the author's last name and the page number like this. In the absence of an author, cite the title and the page number. If you are using more than one book by the same author, list the last name, comma, the title and the page. If you identify the author and title in the text, just list the page number. So this kind of certain guidelines one can follow, then you will be quite safe. But what about websites or images? When citing any web source, particularly the photographs, art, text, videos in your work, you are not likely to have page numbers. Just include the first part of the entry. For example, in paragraph, actually given by this thing, Stephen, then this is actually the work cited will be like this. How means no need of giving entire thing. It should be cited giving the link so that anybody want to know the source and want to know more understanding, then they can go for it. See, it is you are trying to give lot of information to the readers so that they know that it is not your work, but you have cited some other work, and they want to go to the source also. They can come to know with the help of these kind of links. So one has to be careful in understanding this thing. Possibly the most important reason to not plagiarize is that it robs you of the educational experience involved in research. So one has to be thinking and writing. One of the main purpose of higher education is to learn to do research, to help expand thought processes, to improve writing skills, and to learn how to present them. And taking credit for someone else's work hurts you most of all. So one has, these are the basic principles one should understand when writing an article or quoting something. Some of the things that you think you know about plagiarism may be wrong. So means some people say, yeah, the person is dead. So not like that. Whether a person is alive or dead, the original researcher, it does not matter. If it is not your own idea, you must cite your sources. This is the basic principle one should understand. It is not you will search for very old journals and all the things and then quote. It is not correct, because just one small cartoon I have written, I have given quoted. Really, someone told me it's not plagiarism if they are dead. That is not correct. So if you translate and paraphrase something, you must still give a citation, because sometimes what happens, the the article is written in some French language, so you want to translate it in English. So that then also you must still give the citation, because you are only the translator, not the original author. So you have to understand that one. So paraphrasing requires a citation. You may have been told that if you put something into your own words, you need not cite. This is not correct. The material is still someone else's idea and requires acknowledgement. What happens, some people think if you read an article and you put it 100% in your own words, so this is not the no need of citing. It's not correct. So this is incorrect. So it should be properly acknowledged, because the original idea is not yours. You have taken from somebody else. Only thing is you have not put it in same words. You have put it in your own words. Some sentences and all things you have changed. Paraphrase, how to do the paraphrase correctly is, paraphrasing is more than simply rewarding the original material. So you have to be very careful. It must be almost entirely in your own words. You must use new synonyms and new phrases. Only technical terms should be repeated. So the sentence structure should be yours, not the same as in the source. Do not add ideas, interpretations, explanations, or assignments. So that is called as paraphrasing. So when you are doing paraphrasing also, you must give the acknowledgement. This is one of the examples of the paraphrasing by John Dewey, 1999. So it means when you are quoting in your this thing, so you have to give his last name. Doe 1999 recommends that the government takes action, something like that. You have to, means you have paraphrased this one. Only thing is you have changed the entire word structure, but you have given the same idea. So like that, but you have to quote it. You cannot say it is your own. So one has to be very careful in understanding these things. So the inadequate paraphrase is guilty of plagiarism, even though the material is cited correctly. Sometimes what happens, paraphrasing means you should not impose your ideas. You should not include certain materials which you feel correct to that one. Paraphrasing means you are just simply putting the things what with the same idea in different wordings. So that has to be the correct paraphrasing. One has to do correct paraphrasing rather than this thing. So inadequate paraphrasing is also a part of guilty of the plagiarism. So you have to be very, very careful. And quotation should be used sparingly. They must be exact word for word as they appear in the original document. When you are giving quotations, don't change. Quotes require a citation in addition to the use of quote marks. So you have to be very, very careful in that one when you are giving quotations. Quotation must be attributed to the original author and the source that you used. You have to be very, very careful. If you, for example, I have given an example. If you use the phrase fourscore and 20 years ago, our forefathers, something like that, then you have to quote saying that so and so person have given the source, something like that. Nowadays, if you go to the websites, free stuff people put on the webs, can you use that one? Normally people think since it is available on web, you can use it. No, free means economically free. You do not have to pay for it. That's we agree, because without paying you are getting that information. But the free stuff has a specific use and can only be used free for the intended use. If you use the words, graphics, ideas, you must give a citation, because a lot of information is available in Wikipedia, in web and all those things, but you must give a citation for that particular this thing. You cannot use it just like that. For example, the lectures by our professors are protected by copyright laws. If you use their ideas, you must give them credit. And if you don't do it, it is also part of plagiarism, particularly for the students. One has to understand. So we have to inculcate the habit of the guidelines and habit of developing their own ideas, doing original work and the culture among the students initially from beginning, then normally there will not be any problem. Particularly when you are taking from encyclopedia or dictionary, it is common knowledge and does not need to be cited. That is maybe, but what is common knowledge you have to understand. Common knowledge consists of information that is easily observed. I mean, the sky is blue, but not a detailed explanation of why sky is blue. The sky is blue is okay, it is a common understanding. But if you are giving explanation why sky is blue, then actually that requires citation. Commonly reported facts means, for example, George Washington was the first president of the United States, but not the information that historians have to say about Washington. So like that, common knowledge does not need to be cited. That is agreed to some extent, but be sure that what you are using really is a common knowledge, because our understanding about the common knowledge should also be very clear. When in doubt, ask either your instructor or a librarian, get the information and you cite it. Otherwise, it will be creating problem to you. And for example, real life consequences. So this already I have discussed. So and then means by doing plagiarism, one is fooling himself. Means if you give explanation, I was too busy to do the assignment, these kind of things. Everyone does it. So one has to be very strict and should not go for any plagiarizing things, copying the things. So if you are most welcome to put the information in your article, provided you properly cite them. Means you properly give the credit to the original. So if you can borrow from work of others, particularly articles, in your own work, just do it correctly. Don't do it haphazardly. Don't do it improperly. One has to follow it. So when you are taking information from somebody else, you should follow quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing. Even if you are summarizing also, from where, from original article, which article you have summarized, that has to be given, because only thing is in quoting, you are directly quoting the sentences actually given in that original article, whereas in paraphrasing, you are putting in your own words, and summarizing means you are out of 2-3 pages, you are just summarizing the gist of it. So these three kind of things you can use it in your research articles, but you must give proper citation. That is very important. So means, for example, quotations. Quotations are the exact words of an author copied directly from a source, word for word. Quotation must be cited. Means you have to use the quotations when you want to add the power of an author's words to support your argument. Suppose you are putting forward some argument related to some idea, so that if somebody's quotations, actually if they are really supporting your views, so then in that case you can use that this kind of thing. You are comparing and contrasting specific points of view, then you can give the quotations. You want to note the important research that proceeds your own, so then also you can give the quoting. Paraphrasing, as I told you, you should put in your own words, but even then actually you need to give the source. Summarizing involves putting the main idea of one or several writers into your own words. So for that also you need to give the this thing. So helpful suggestions for the for avoiding plagiarism are, do not copy more than 3 consecutive words from a source. Restating in your own words, if you really like the way a paragraph is written, read the paragraph again for the information. Nothing to worry about that one. You have to then explain in your own words. And then being knowledgeable, really know your topic well, first of all. The more you can explain it and understand it, the less likely you are unintentionally plagiarizing. If you understand the topic properly, then nothing will happen. So strategies to avoid plagiarism. There are some 10 strategies to avoid plagiarism. Means strategy number 1 is give credit where credit is due when directly quoting. You must give credit to the others, then you will be safe from the plagiarism. When quoting phrases longer than 40 words, put the quote in a block quote, cite your source. Okay. And then short quote means at minimum formatting requires the writer to note the author of a direct quote. Here the source was published, so that has to be given. Then strategy number 2 is give credit where credit is due when paraphrasing. Even in paraphrasing also, you have to give credit where the original idea you are translating. Only that particular this thing you have to give the this thing. And then coming to the for paraphrasing, one has to understand. Then coming to the strategy number 3 is add your own analysis or thoughts after you have inserted directly quoted words or paraphrased knowledge. Means add your own analysis, means that becomes your own word. Add your own analysis, but you have already quoted the paraphrased and the quotations you have quoted. After that, followed by that one, you can give your own analysis and thoughts that can be given. And then fourth one is actually use a plagiarism checker to see if you are plagiarized. Keep your similarity index below 15%. Actually, as per the UGC guidelines, it should be less than 10%. Maximum up to 10% is allowed as per the UGC regulations on 2018 on plagiarism. So we have to understand, you should means up to 10% it is allowed. Even for the students who are submitting their thesis and all things, up to 10% only it is allowed. Otherwise, it cannot be allowed. It needs a lot of penalization and guidelines that I'll tell you. Then strategy number 5 is do not recycle work. Do not double dip. Reused work will likely to be flagged by the plagiarism checker. So making your work as a suspect. So do not recycle the work. So you can reference former papers you wrote or have published, your own papers also, but you cannot present your previously written work as a new. So to do so, and academically dishonest. Maybe you may feel this is your own work which you have published, so you cannot put it as a new information. You give that one and quote it, your own references. So that's the way you have to follow it. So recycling is also not allowed. It is part of plagiarism. Then strategy number 6 is do not buy or copy a paper from the internet. This will easily be flagged by a plagiarism checker or inserting the suspect text in the Google. So you have to be very careful in this. Then strategy number 7 is note the penalties associated with plagiarism when they are posted in class. Forwarded is forum. So you have to be very. Strategy number 8 is plan your time. Plan out your time. Work out a schedule ahead of time and establish a timeline so that you are not rushed. So normally all these things happens when you are to submit an article to research journal, there is a deadline, or sometimes the conference deadline is getting over. So if you are in a hurry, you maybe knowingly, unknowingly, sometimes you may go for a little bit plagiarism. So that has to be avoided. Actually, you have to plan out your time systematically and give sufficient time. And this avoids the temptation to plagiarize. This avoids accidental plagiarism because of the time limit and all those kind of time management has to be done properly. Then strategy number 9 is choose a topic that means something to you, which you can understand, regarding which you know it. So personally, so that you are more invested in the topic. That is because it is known to you. So don't go and venture for unknowing things wherein you may be bound to take information from others. And if you don't quote it properly, then it will be a trouble for you. So these are the online website to catch plagiarism. Means you have so many websites which actually can catch the plagiarism. These are the 7 website actually. Article checker is there, plagium, like that plagiarism checker and all those kind of things. So these are the tools actually. Means the plagiarism is indeed a big problem in academia these days. Have various types of plagiarism levels. The scale of the problem is huge mainly because of the easy availability of internet, because people are tempted, because you are getting information from the this thing. So one has to be careful and understand what are the problems that are there in these things. And then coming to the strategy number 10, when in doubt, cite it out. If whenever you get little bit doubt, you please cite it out properly, so that it is you are declaring that it is not your work. You have cited whether it is right or wrong. It will go to the credit or this thing. It will go to the original author. So nothing to worry about this. So always remember, when in doubt, use a citation. That is very important. So then I would like to explain to you some of the plagiarism detection techniques. So actually, there are, as per the Culvin and Lancaster, 4 stages of detecting plagiarism are there. One is the collecting information, then analysis, then investigation, and confirmation. So these are the actually 4 stages of detecting. If you follow these ones, actually, you will be quite safe in getting involved in the plagiarism. So you have to follow one by one. First, you have to understand what it is. Means collection of this thing, and then you try to analyze it whether it is the original work or not, whatever article, and then confirm it, and then you investigate it whether it is correct or not. So that by doing these kind of things, you will be able to this thing. So plagiarism detection techniques, normally you have text-based plagiarism and then source code-based plagiarism detection techniques. So these are 2 types of detection techniques we categorize: text-based plagiarism detection technique, source code-based plagiarism detection techniques. So for example, text-based plagiarism detection techniques are subtracting matching, keyword similarity, exact fingerprint match, and text phrasing. Then subtract matching is try to identify maximal matches in pages. When they are used as plagiarism indicators, typically substrings are represented in the suffix tree. Graph-based measures are employed to capture the fraction of the plagiarized sections. Keyword similarity is also one method of detecting plagiarism. Exact topic identifying keywords from a document. Compare with the keywords of other document. If the similarity exceeds a threshold, the candidate documents are divided into smaller pieces, which are then compared recursively. This approach assumes that plagiarism usually happens in topically similar documents. Exact finger prints match, that is one of the these things. And documents are partitioned into term sequences called chunks, and then which then are used as plagiarism indicators, then from which digital digests are computed. From that, use the documents in that one available. Digits are inserted into a hash table. Then collisions indicate matching sequences. So this is the normally what is happening in the plagiarism software. For the fingerprint computation, some standard hashing suffers from several problems. Means computationally this is expensive one. No, text phrasing. Any sentence of the text can be automatically represented in the form of the tree, like this one. So this kind of normally how a computer software actually detects the plagiarism from a text from the text phrasing. Once a phrase tree is created, you can invoke a tree matching procedure. So it exactly matches. It has got a specific typical format in which it goes for it in the text phrasing. So then tools used for text-based plagiarism means these are the some of the tools: plug aware, plug scan, check for plagiarism.net, I authenticate, then plagiarism detection org. These are some of the tools used for the this thing. So, for example, plug aware. Actually, it is an online service used for plagiarism detection. It can search, find, analyze, and trace plagiarism in the specified topic similar to the topics. Like Aware is a search engine actually. So it provides different types of report that help the user to decide that is his document has been plagiarized or not. Mainly used in academic field and multiple document comparison it can be used. Does not support synonym and sentence structure checking. So this is the this thing. Then coming to the Plex scan, actually it is also online software used for textual plagiarism checking, complex algorithms for checking and analyzing uploaded documents. Then it has got unique signature extracted from the document so that structure, so that it compares and then with the plus scan database, and then it will identify the what is the problem, is there any similarity. Detect most of the plagiarism type, either direct copy and paste or word switching, it can identify. PlexScan supports all the languages that use the international UTF-8 encoding and all languages with Latin and Arabic characters. So this is the means some of the features of the PlexScan. Then check for plagiarism.net. This is one this thing tool, best online plagiarism checker that used to stop prevention of online plagiarism. So the fingerprint-based approach used to analyze the summarize the collection of document, create a kind of fingerprint for it. Actually, uses its own database that includes millions of documents and articles over the World Wide Web. Supports synonym and sentence structure checking. Can compare set of different documents simultaneously with other documents. Then authenticate. Actually, this is also one of the these things. One of the applications, a service designed especially for the researchers and others publishers. It has own database and contain millions of documents in it. Users who have account can do either online or offline comparison of submitted document against it and to identify plagiarized content. Considered as the first online plagiarism checker, document to document and multiple document can be checked, supports more than 30 languages and does not support the synonym this thing. Then plagiarismdetection.org. Actually, this is also one of the online service provided high level of accuracy results in plagiarism detection and then uses its own database that contains millions of documents, supports English language and all languages that are using Latin characters. Do not support multiple document comparison, cannot be done in this. Does not support synonym and sentence structure checking in this one. So these are some of the advantages and disadvantages. And similarities will be lexical similarities, and then uh, parse tree similarities, program dependence graphs. Actually, this is PDG, is a graph representation of the source code. Actually, it identifies the source code. It is a directed labeled graph which represent the data and the control dependencies within one procedure. So basic statements like variable declarations and assignments and procedure calls are represented by the vertices in PDO. So it depicts how the data flows between statements and how statements are controlled by other statements. The data and the control dependencies between statements are represented by edges between the vertices in PDG. So this is one. Then matrix actually plagiarism detected by similarity analysis using software matrix. Software matrix are number of function calls number of used or defined local variables, number of used or defined non-local variables, number of parameters, number of statements, number of branches, number of loops. So like this. Then plagiarism detection methods. There are two methods: manual detection and automatic detection. You can manually by human, so it is suitable for lectures and teachers in checking students assignments, but it is not effective and impractical for a large number of documents, and not economical, also need highly efforts and wasting time. So this is mainly used for the classroom teaching and other things, to check the students' assignments and other things. So automatic detection is actually, this is by the done not manually, it is done by the softwares. So you have to use the plagiarism tools which are designed to effectively detect and prevent the plagiarism. And so this certainly will help you, but each tool has got its own advantages and disadvantages. So you should know for what purpose you are using. So these are the some of the plagiarism detection tools. So for example, plug tracker is one of these things. So in which actually it is a fast free plagiarism detection tool. So what are the pros and consequences? What are the advantages and disadvantages actually? Addressing to different user groups, student, teacher, publishers, and then detailed reports can be verified in this. 6 languages are supposed: English, French, Spanish, German, Romanian, and Italian. The disadvantages are no file upload in free version. So you cannot upload the file in free version. So there is a version, payment version, in which actually you can upload the file. So that kind of things. And then coming to the next one, next tool is duplicate checker. Actually means I'm just showing you how you can see it in the if you open your computer. So then, so this is one of the most effective free plagiarism detector tool on the internet. While it does not have a fancy interface, actually the advantages are actually this is a free of charge. You don't have to pay anything. So whether you are a one-time user or plan to make it most of the free plagiarism detection tool on a daily basis, you are not required to pay for subscription. So this is most advantageous and most useful for the students, researchers, and all things. Ease of use, so it is quite easier to use also. Two ways to check for plagiarism. Duplicate checker enables you to either copy or paste your text in the field and then check it for plagiarism, and upload also can be done. Then you have the advantage of 50 plagiarism scan per day for registered users. So if you sign up for free, duplicate checker allows you to do 50 plagiarism checks in a single day. It means you have a limit of 50. You can do daily 50-50. So this is quite advantageous, and this thing. In this, no paid version is available. So it is the freely available version. And then coming to the plagiarism, this is one of the tools that can be used for checking the plagiarism. And this is actually basic and easy to use multi-purpose plagiarism detection tool that is used by students, teachers, writers, as well as various members of the literary industry. So it can be supported 190 plus languages. There is virtually no language excluded from the list. Means 190 plus means almost most of the all the languages are included. Actually, it a plagiarism check by URI online or file upload, copy and paste, type your text in the appropriate field, provide a URL or upload file from your computer. That is done. Then Firefox extensions are available. Then limited plagiarism check per day, means if you are looking for a tool for extensive use, then it doesn't accept. There is a limited. Free version has a limited number of plagiarism checks. So just for checking a few minor things, then is useful. Otherwise, you need to purchase this thing. Then plagiarism checker. This is also one of the plagiarism softwares which is available, and this is user friendly, entirely free plagiarism detection tool to check whether content is plagiarized. You want to check the article which you are trying to read it, so it is plagiarized or not. So you can use that one. This is totally free. Then detailed guidelines are available. One of the easiest to use free plagiarism detection tools due to its step-by-step approach. Means step-by-step approach is there. You can follow the guidelines and any person can understand in very simple language, and it is very easy to follow this thing. Check if others have plagiarized your online content also. Your own work also can be checked in this one. Entirely online, no downloads required actually. Supports only actually it supports only Google or Yahoo browser. You are using two browsers, then you might have to look more than two browsers. You have to look somewhere else. Then this one is Plex Scan. This is one of the tools that can use check the plagiarism. So it is a detection tool for both the individuals and business people. Actually, it is fully online. No download is required, and there are three ways to do plagiarism checks. You can select from a different source and then indicated area and all those kind of things, and no subscription for private users, and then integration features. Relatively complicated interface it has got, so it is not that easy to understand how it works and all those kind of things. Then another tool is Plagium. Actually, this is Plagium is one of the tool that can be used basically, but fully functional free plagiarism detection tool with different levels of search. Means this is easy to use. You basically copy paste text. It features two types of searches: quick search and deep search. You have to follow. Free for up to 5,000 characters each time. So it will not accept more than that one. For up to 5,000 characters for search, you don't have to pay any fee. If you want to do at a time more than 5,000 characters, then you have to. So that is the limitation you have to have. So that you have to just for checking a specific content. So then if you try to evaluate the different plagiarism checking softwares, tools, you can just see means plugin tracker actually subscription cost around 7.49 US dollars, whereas duplicate checker is free online checker, and then plagiarism is also free to use on a trial basis. You cannot use it more than that one. And then, for example, maximum count is 5,000 for the plugin checker, and then duplicate checker is 1,000, and then for the plagiarism is 2,000. So type of scan is copy and paste in this plugin tracker, whereas copy and paste file will be uploaded, and then source checked also. This thing type of report download and share in the plugin tracker, and then you have download and share will be there. So these are some just comparison for the this thing. And then plugin scan actually you can on trial basis you can use maximum word content will be 1 lakh words. So it means on trial basis you can try for this plugin scan because free to use on trial basis. So you have to be, and it can file types actually docs, ODT, HTML, PDF, zip, and all those things it will be supporting. So it is very much useful on the trial basis. Then one is this thing tools used for code-based plagiarism. Suppose if there is a code-based plagiarism, these three tools can be used. That is MOSS, JPlag, and code match. So what does it mean? MOSS is measure of software similarity. Can be applied to a range of programming languages. Registered instructions can submit batches of programming, and then the database stores an internal representation programs and then looks for similarities between them. Means the database has got already inbuilt programs, and then when you are going to try search for that one, it will try to search with the database that is available in it. And then coming to the JPlag actually compares submitted programs in pace. Means it assumes that plagiarists may vary the name of the variables and classes. Means they might have tried to alter the sentences and other things. So it presents its results as a HTML page, and the pages are sent back to the client and stored locally. It actually JPlug was easier to use but supported fewer languages than MOS. So that is then code matches compares thousands of sources code files in multiple directions and subdirections actually, and it is useful for finding open source code within the proprietary code, and then discovering common standard algorithms within different programs. So there are certain disadvantages also. You don't think when you are using plagiarism checking software, it is 100% foolproof. Actually, there are some disadvantages you must know. Plagiarism detection systems are built based on few languages. So to check the plagiarism with the same software can be difficult. So most of the detection software checking is done with some response. So people are unable to access it and verify for plagiarism. As a number of digital copies are going up, the repository size should be large, and the plagiarism detection software should be able to handle it. Because now if there are limitations, you will not be able to check plagiarism. Some software asks us to load a file to their link. The file is copied to the database. This causes our data being loaded and booked for other purposes. So means data security is not being maintained. So that one has to be very careful. So then now coming to in the end, actually, UGC regulations for plagiarism. So UGC has formulated certain guidelines. So there is a letter issued from University Grants Commission on 6th August 2018 to the address to all the vice chancellors of all universities, who in turn will inform to the different colleges and educational institutions. So in order to check for the plagiarism and to recommend some institutional mechanism, they have formulated some guidelines. So actually this is the notification and they have given. Gazette has been published by Government of India on 23rd July 2018. Promotion of academic integrity and prevention of this is in effect, this thing. So every university actually following this guideline, they have to formulate their own plagiarism directions has to be formulated. So then it has to be this thing. So for example, in a nutshell, actually, UGC's new anti-plagiarism policy allows maximum up to 10% content similarity. If 10% up to maximum 10% similarity is there, there is no problem, means you will not be getting any punishment. So they have formulated in the document 4 levels. Level 0 is the similarity up to 10%, allowed with no penalty. This is this thing. Okay. And then level 1 is similarity about 10 to 40%. In that case, shall be asked to withdraw the manuscript. The person found that similarity above 10 to up to 40% shall be asked to withdraw the manuscript. The manuscript paper, if it is published, he need to withdraw it. That is the punishment. So level 2 is similarity above 40 to 60%. If it is above 40 to 60%, if it is there and it is proved undoubtedly, shall be denied a right to one annual increment if he is an academician or if he is an employee of some research organization. So shall be denied a right to one annual increment. Then level 3 is actually similarity above 60%. It can go up to 100%. So if that kind of this thing is there, which is really a crime, so shall not be allowed to be a supervisor for the new, from that particular day onwards, new MSc, MPhil, PhD dissertation for 2 years. He'll be banned to be a supervisor, to guide, supervise for a MSc dissertation, MPhil or PhD for 2 years. So these are the guidelines which are enforced by the UGC. So one has to follow it accordingly. So then come to the conclusion, it is a rampant now. Actually, with most of the data available to use in digital format, the venues for plagiarism is opening up. So it means many times, if you are not careful, you will be unintentionally doing some plagiarism, some part. So that is why UGC has given a scope for up to 10%. Actually, it is allowed. To avoid this kind of cheating or to acknowledge the originality of the author, new detection techniques are to be created. We need to identify to protect the intellectual property source code. New techniques need to be identified and they need to be implemented. So, and some of these are the references you can note down for the finding out the plagiarism tools and guidelines for getting plagiarism free documentation. So this has to be, one has to try to understand this kind of these things. And then actually, before I conclude, I would like to show some of my research papers with very high impact factors, because I have research collaboration with Princeton University, Lausanne University, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT USA, and a lot many other universities for the last 15 years. So with help of international research collaboration, I could publish along with my foreign collaborators 2 papers in science. One is in 2015, I have published this paper whose impact factor was 34.661. This is on uranium-led geochronology of the Deccan Traps and relation to the end Cretaceous mass extinction. This has been published in Science with impact factor 34.661 in 2015. So this is the paper, and with a supplementary material around 80 pages of supplementary material link has been given. So anybody want to see it, they can go through it. And then another paper I have published in 2019 February, that is actually on the uranium-led constraints on pulsed eruption of the Deccan Traps across the end Cretaceous mass extinction with my foreign collaborators, then which has got impact factor of 41.845. This is the impact 5-year mean impact factor. This is 41.845 with H index of 1124. So this is my second science paper that I have published. So this is this thing. And then another paper I have published in global and planetary change. Actually, this is a very recent paper for which impact factor is 4.10. This is also with the help of my collaborators from Princeton University, Lausanne University, and MIT and other universities. And then this is my just paper. And then another paper which I published in 2020, this is also a recent one, in the Earth and Planetary Science Letters, actually, with impact factor of 4.823 with H index of 234. So this just I wanted to, means it is not difficult to publish the papers. Only thing is you need to be dedicated and you need to have some sort of a collaboration so that you can use their laboratories, you can use their facilities and other things, and you can discuss and you can have joint publications. So that is the beauty of international research collaboration, wherein every year normally we do but I work on the Indian sites only, means the foreigners, they come to India actually, and then they work with us, and then sometimes I'll be going there for the analysis also. So that is a mutual collaborative activity that is being done. So with this actually we can achieve the things, otherwise individually it is very difficult. So thank you so much for your patient listening, and I am thankful to the organizers for giving me this opportunity, and I will be more than happy to answer any of the questions if there is any. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Very nice presentation and amazing work regarding your research work. Thank you very much, sir. Now I request all the participants, if you have any questions, please drop into the chat box. Sir, there is one question.
Yes, please.
Please provide some guidance on which software or website is available to check a plagiarism online.
Yeah, I have already given Plug Checker, and there are free softwares available, but only thing is there are some limitations. But normally, most of the universities, actually UGC has provided one software which is a bit costly for the individuals, but you can go to the university library where there is one Urkund. Urkund software is there for plagiarism checking. So the financial assistance given by the UGC. So it is there in the most of the libraries, university libraries. So for the students, actually, online checking to some extent it is all right, but for checking the thesis and other things, now without checking the thesis, it cannot be accepted because the maximum is 10%. It is allowed by the UGC, as I have mentioned. So the thesis, entire thesis should not have more than 10% this thing plagiarism checker. That this is Urkund software normally we are using in our university library, central library. It is free service. It gives free service to the students and researchers. So whenever a student want to check their article and all thing, They can directly go to the university library and they can just get it checked. So most of the libraries UGC has provided this thing, so that it, being a common facility, so that is the easiest way. Because if you are going for free software, there are lot many limitations. But for checking few pages and all the things, you can check it. There is absolutely no problem. There are some limitations. So within the limitations, you can check it. But if you want to search for a very huge article having 500, 400 pages, or your thesis having few hundred pages, all those kind of things, if you want to check within a short period of time, you need to go to the central library, wherein you have the this kind of Urkun or any equivalent software. It is there, so it doesn't have any limit of the pages and other things. So you can check with that one, and it will give the results, final output. When but you need to give the soft copy. It should be verified in under the software, and then it will give it. So that is the easiest I suggest, so that it becomes you need not to pay anything.
There is one
I
question.
hope you are satisfied, or you need further explanation.
Yeah, sir, definitely. There is one question from Ashok Todmal. His question is how to avoid self-plagiarism.
How to avoid
Self-plagiarism.
Yes, means for that actually you have to be very careful about your own work. See, you might be publishing everywhere so many papers and all those things. So when you are quoting your own work, you need to be very careful. You cannot put it as a new work, even though it is your own work, but you do not have right to say it is the newly identified one. So you have to quote like others. You have to give either quotation or paraphrasing or summarizing, but citing your own work. So you cannot put it as a since, because normally people are confident, but because this is your own work, so you have right. No, not like that. So you cannot go for this self plagiarism also. So you have to be careful about it. You can always use it by properly citing. So the best thing to escape from plagiarism is to always cite the work done by the original worker, though even if it is yours or somebody others, it doesn't matter. But you have to be very careful. So the work done earlier also need to be cited, even though it is your own work. So you have to be very, very careful in that one. So one should not be little bit negligent or this thing. That also will create a lot of problems. So one has to be very, very careful. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Please share your sir mobile number and email ID in chat box.
1 minute. I can tell actually
Okay,
chat box
please
is
share
not.
me, sir. Please you share me on my WhatsApp number. I will share to the participants, sir. Okay, there is a next question from Unisha. She is asking if the methodology used for one study was adopted, providing for proper citation to conduct another study with various sample, will be also considered as a plagiarism?
See, you have to be very careful when you are using a methodology already given by somebody else. To that extent, you need to quote, cite it, because after citing that, you are using your own, giving your own data. Actually, that need not to be from that particular portion up to that one only. You have to give the citation. Means you can say I have used the methodology adopted by so and so for this one, but whereas the data generated by you is original, it is not the plagiarized. Only thing is the methodology you have followed. So for that you have already cited. You have to cite. Means the idea, that procedure or methods and all those things, whatever you have taken from somebody else. So that to that portion you need to cite it. Okay, the original author. Whereas by doing that one, because you are quoting, I mean, I have adopted the methodology and this thing procedure following so and so. So that means it is already you have given due credit to that particular original person who has proposed it. Whereas the analysis what you have done it is original. It cannot be. It is not a duplicate one. So you need not have to code for that one. You can just suppose if you are changing the figure or procedure given by somebody else, then you have to say after so and so. So you have made some changes in that. So you have to be. I mean, depending on the context, you have to act. You have to be. If you are using only methodology, so you quote up to that particular extent. Whereas when you have generated your own data, means your own this thing, which do not have any similarity anywhere, because if you do the analysis, so whatever the data you have generated, it is undoubtedly original one. It doesn't require any this thing because it is your own work. So even though you have followed, but for that you have already quoted whatever the methodology you have followed, actually you have already quoted it. So there is nothing to go beyond that one. So you have to be very careful in that one. So depending upon the context, you have to add it. How far you have taken from others, that is very important. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Is there any limitations to apply plagiarism?
Yeah, as I told you, there are 4 levels.
Okay.
Zero level is 0 to 10%, which is not punishable, which is accepted. That's what we are applying in the submission of a thesis of a PhD student. If it is plagiarism checker or whatever the software that checks the plagiarism of that particular thesis, it says less than 10%, maximum up to 10%. More than 10% means it is not, the thesis cannot be submitted. Means before submitting thesis to any university, it is mandatory as per the UGC guidelines. If it is more than 10%, actually your thesis cannot be accepted by any university or any organization. So then you have to go and change your things and then again go for plagiarism checking, and then if it comes 10 or less than 10, then only the article will be accepted. So these are different levels, 4 levels as I mentioned to you. And then second one is level 1 is more than 10 to 40. Then third level is more than 40 to 60. Then fourth level is more than 60 up to 100%. So these are the different levels. So one has to understand, because sometimes knowingly, unknowingly, certain words, they are very common. So they will come out, and then so up to 10% it is allowed, maximum, not more than that. So one has to understand, particularly students.
Thank you, sir. After correction, how much time we can apply plagiarism?
Even there is no time limit. If it is less than, if it is more than this thing, it depends on the level of plagiarism. It depends on the level of plagiarism. Suppose if you have published a paper which has got a level 1 plagiarism, the article has to be withdrawn. You cannot publish that article. And if it is 40 to 60%, the person, if he is employed, he will forego 1 increment. And if it is more than 60%, actually the person cannot submit any paper up to 2 years. He cannot guide the PhD students. So that is up to 2 years you are not allowed to publish anything. So these are the guidelines given by the UGC regulation 2018, which we have to follow strictly.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I think there is no more questions.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Sir, please stop your sharing, sir.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. It is a very informative session to how to avoid the plagiarism and editing process. It is definitely very useful for the PG students and faculty while writing the research articles for various NAS rating journals. And you have also covered the which matrix methods, how to avoid the plagiarism methods, evaluation of plagiarism, and different methods of plagiarism. So I would like to extend my warm thanks for enlightening us with the number of plagiarism methods to Dr. Syed Fajal Rahiman Khadri sir. to delivering the wonderful lecture, How to Avoid the Plagiarism and Editing Process. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Please stop sharing, sir.
Okay.
Now I hand over to Dr. Sachin Sadafa, sir, for validatory function, sir. Dr. Sachin Sadafa, sir, please.
Yes, madam. Thank you, ma'am. Very nice.
Madam, I have shared my mobile number and email address. You can give it to the participants.
Yes, sir. Definitely, I will share your mobile number and email ID to all the participants. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Within short time, we are going to start our validatory function. Our chief guest is joining soon, within 2 to 3 minutes, and Honorable Vice Chancellor is also joining the program. So I request all the participants to be online. Madam, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Thank you. Within short time, our chief guest is going to, yes, our chief guest has also joined the program. Yes. Dr. Aire, sir, can maybe start the program?
Yeah, just 1 second. I will call our Honorable Vice Chancellor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I will check with him. Just 1 second.
Dr. Ahire,
Yes, sir.
Vice Chancellor will be joining at any instant, and in fact, he told us we can go ahead with the start of the validatory function.
Okay, then we will start. Okay, Dr. Sachin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Very good afternoon and welcome to all. Today, we are here for validatory function of 3 days online training program on writing research papers for high impact factor journals and effective research proposals. We are honored to have today function chief guest, respected Dr. P.S. Pandey, sir, Honorable ADG, Agriculture Education Division, ICR New Delhi. Today's function is chaired by respected Dr. A.S. Dhawan, Vasantrao Naik Marathwada Krishi Vidyapit Parbhani, and Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapit Rauri. Soon he is going to join our program. We have with us respected Dr. S.R. Gadak, sir, Director of Research and Director of Extension Education, Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapit Rauri. He is also going to join soon. We have with us Dr. Gadak, sir, also the convener of this training program and PI of Caste Kasam project and Head Department of Agriculture Engineering, respected Dr. S.D. Gorantiwar, sir, Organizing Secretary of this training program and Associate Dean of Punyashlok Ahilyadevi Holkar College of Agriculture, Halgaon, and Head of Department of Agricultural Extension and Communication, respected Dr. Milind Ahire, sir, co-convener of this training program and co-PI of this Caste Kasam project, respected Dr. M.G. Shinde, sir, and Nodal Officer of ICR and HOD of SWC, Dr. Sachin Nangode, sir, and experts who have guided our participants in these 6 sessions in this 3 days training program, Dr. Syed Fajal Rahiman Khadri, sir, Dr. Sudhir Kumar Singh, sir, and Dr. S.K. Wadkar, sir. First of all, present in this training programs. By taking this program forward, I request Dr. Milind Ahire, sir, to give preamble and review of online training program. Sir.
Thank you, Sachin. I wholeheartedly welcome our chief guest, Dr. P.S. Pandey, ADG, EP, NHS, Agriculture Education Division, ICR New Delhi. Today's function chairman, Dr. A.S. Dhawan, Honorable Vice Chancellor, VNMKV Parbhani and MPKV Rauri. Dr. S.R. Gadak, Director of Research and Director of Extension, Dr. A.L. Farande, Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, PI of this CAST project, Dr. S.D. Gorantiwar, co-convener, Dr. M.G. Shinde, all the associate deans and my colleagues. Sir, a 3 days online training program on writing research papers for high impact factor journals and effective research proposal we had conducted for 3 days from 15 to 17 December. So in this 3 days program, we had covered the topics like how to find 5-year impact journals and structures of research paper. Dr. Sudhir Kumar Singh from Allahabad University, he conducted this session. Then funding sponsoring agencies for research project, Mr. Yu Bhole, he conducted this session. Then research product development, Dr. Manisha Paliwal from Omnicom, she conducted this session. Then language of writing scientific research papers and how to avoid common mistakes in writing, Mr. Vivian Thomas, former faculty of our university, he conducted this session. Then project design and proposal writing, Dr. S.K. Wadkar from Omnicom, he conducted this session. And recently just now we finished how to avoid plagiarism and editing process. Dr. Syed Fajal Rahiman Khadri, he just now finished his session. It is very nice and interactive session. He touched all the aspects of plagiarism. Sir, in this training, we received total 1017 nomination from 19 university and 175 from our MPKV Rahuri. But in this training on Zoom platform, 185 participants participated, and on YouTube, 127 trainees were joined. So there is huge response for this training because the topic of this training is very useful. Because many researchers, they are writing the research papers, they don't have they don't know how to write for the research paper, how to write the research paper for high impact factor journals. Because what the journals requirement, that is most important. And second thing, just now Dr. Rahiman Khadri, Fajal Rahiman Khadri, he shared about the plagiarism. That aspects we have to consider while writing the research paper. Then updated review of literature is most important thing. Then many journals are conducting e-resource trainings also that we can attend. And the impact factor journals and ORCID, we should have this kind of things with us. The low cost access to peer review journals, a few things are there available on e-platform like Agora or RD. So what we think that our language should be very neat and a writing skill, that is most important. Because we if we will not write properly, then many high impact factor journals having the desk rejection. Immediately while after receiving, they reject our papers. So my submission to all the participants that while you will submit the research papers to high impact factor journals, please take into consideration whatever the deliberations were here for 3 days. Take into consideration. I hope this will be very useful to you while submitting your project proposals as well as research papers for high impact factor journals. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks. Now I request Dr. Sunil Gurantiwar, sir, PI of Caste Kasam project, to give review of online training program and welcome address, sir. Dr. Sunil Gurantiwar, sir, please.
Respected chief guest of today's 3-day online training programs valedictory function, Dr. P.S. Pandey, who is Assistant Director General, Agriculture Education Division of Indian Council of Agriculture Research, New Delhi. Honorable Vice Chancellor of our university, Dr. A.S. Dhawan, who will be joining soon for this valedictory function. Then Director of Research and Director of Extension Education of our university, Dr. S.R. Garak. Director of Instruction and Dean Faculty of Agriculture, Dr. L. Farande. Organizing Secretary of this very important 3-day online training program and Associate Dean of College of Agriculture, Dr. M.C. Ahire. And Associate Dean of College of Agriculture, Karaj, Dr. Suryavanshi, and all Associate Deans and Heads of the Department who have joined this course, this valedictory function. Then Co-Organizing Secretary, Dr. S.S. Sadafar, co-convener Dr. M.G. Shinde, then our program coordinators, Dr. Khadri, Dr. Dhenge, Dr. Tamboi, and more importantly, all the participants who have joined for this training program, and also for the valedictory function. And I should not forget to mention the last speaker to whom we are listening, Dr. S.F.R. Khadri, because I think his lecture was very important, and he provided a lot of information during his online lecture. I would like to take this opportunity to tell in brief about the National Agricultural Higher Education Project under which we are organizing this training program. The title of our project, NAHEP project in short we call, that is Center for Advanced Agricultural Science and Technology, briefly we call it as CAST, on climate smart agriculture and water management. This is our NAHEP project, which is World Bank aided project of Indian Council of Agriculture Research, New Delhi. So we have 4 objectives of this project. Most important objective is, of course, to build the capacity amongst the students, scientists, faculties on climate smart agriculture and water management by organizing the different training programs, online and offline now, okay, and also different certificate courses. The second objective is to start and implement the postgraduate diploma course in climate smart agriculture and water management, then postdoctoral research program in climate smart agriculture and water management, and to strengthen the master's degree program in agriculture science and agricultural engineering in context of the adding or including the courses related to climate smart agriculture and water management. Third objective is to develop the technologies IoT, that is Internet of Things, drones, robotics, web-based and mobile applications, conservation agriculture for the benefit of the farmers and preferably through the students. And fourth objective is to disseminate all these technologies on web-based platform or by implementing the concept of climate smart agriculture village, digital agriculture village. In fact, we are in 3rd year of our project, and we have started implementing all these activities. Fourth objective, that is to disseminate the technology to the wider audience, not only for the MPKV people. As a part of this particular objective, we have organized several training programs in offline mode, that is in campus, either at MPKV Rahuri Central Campus or College of Agriculture, Pune. Those were, of course, the on-campus courses. But when this COVID-19 period started and the lockdown was declared, we immediately shifted to the online courses. So for that, of course, for first 2 weeks, we designed the entire methodology for organizing the training course, because it was quite new. Organizing training courses online mode was in fact quite a new approach. Some webinars used to be organized before COVID-19 period. So we wanted to organize the online training courses. So for that, so pre-training evaluation, post-training evaluation, evaluation during or at the end of the different training program, and all these things. So we developed one model, and we started implementing this model since 2nd week of April 2020. And I would like to mention here with pleasure that this is our 57th online training program, and during which we organize almost more than 400 technical sessions of 1.5 or 2 hours duration, and trained almost 15,000 students, scientists, faculties, and 4,000 farmers. In fact, for all these training programs, we received a huge response. So we received, in fact, 67,000 applications, but because of the limitations to the seats of online platform and other limitations, so we could not select all for the training program. Okay. So this is what I wanted to tell our honorable guest about our activities, and with this I would like to remain, and I would also like to welcome our honorable guest Dr. Pandey Sahib for kindly consenting and also for kindly presenting for this valedictory function. And of course, we are going to listen to him. And again, I would like to welcome all our chief guests, chairman, and all those who have joined for this training program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks. Really, sir, this Caste Kasam project has become big asset to the university during this COVID-19 situation. Caste Kasam this project has done great work in research, education, and extension also. Thank you, sir, once again. Now I request Nodal Officer Dr. Sachin Nangode, sir, to introduce our today's guest. Nangode, sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Sachin. Honorable Chief Guest of today's program, Dr. P.S. Pandey, Honorable Chairman of today's program, and the Vice Chancellor of the two universities, MPKV Rahuri and VNMKV Parabani, Dr. A.S. Dhawan, the Honorable Guest of Honors, Dr. A.L. Farande, and Dr. S.R. Gadak, sir, Director of Research and Director of Extension Education of the university, convener of the program and the PI of the CAST project, Dr. Goretivas, sir, co-convener, co-PI, Dr. M.G. Shinde, sir, organizing secretary, Dr. M.C. Ahire, sir, co-organizing secretary, Dr. Sachin Sadapur, all the associate deans, heads of the department, scientists, trainees, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to all. It's my proud privilege to introduce Dr. Punyot Pandey, who is presently holding the position of Assistant Director General, Education Planning and Home Science in the ICR from more than 5 years, more than a half decade in this position. Dr. Pandey, after completion of his MSc and PhD from prestigious Indian Agriculture Research Institute, has joined the ICR system through the 1986 ARS batch. And he has served more than 7 institutes in various capacities in the multidisciplinary teams for more than 3 decades. Before joining as a ADG, Dr. Pandey had served as the national coordinator for the World Bank supported NAIP project for 5 years. So the expertise of Dr. Pandey is in the ICT in agriculture. Accordingly, he has led various innovative projects which has changed the paradigm, which has brought the paradigm shift in the agriculture ICR system specifically. The project what he has led are innovative projects like the supercomputing facilities in the bioinformatics, Agropedia, SERA, eGranth, eCourses, and many more to mention. The another highlight of his tenure during this time on this time is the establishment of 22 incubation and the agribusiness center in 2012 itself. This has proved landmark for today's boost for agribusiness startups in India. Before the NAIP stint of 5 years, he has served as the Principal Secretary in Simulation and Informatics Division of IRI. He has been the members of various high-powered committees as well as the professional bodies, including the Academic Council member of the prestigious NDRI, then Board of Management members of the US Bangalore, US Dharwad, and many more institutes, to name the few. It's a list is long. I would like to mention one thing specifically. Under his leadership, he has completed 21 research projects as well as 55 innovative projects till date. He is the recipient of various prestigious awards like the Gold Medal of IRI, then Outstanding Achievement in Agriculture Award, and many more. Published more than 120 research papers, numerous conference and the technical papers. But above all, for me, as the nodal officer of 2 universities for the ICR, I would like to mention the most important aspect of the Dr. Pandey is the first and the most effective contact point for the all 75 agriculture universities of the India, 75 agriculture institutions of India. Like means I can say he's the tough taskmaster, but the best troubleshooter for all of us. And particularly, I would like to mention in this tough COVID time also, he has provided a good funding support to the MPKV Rahuri currently also. I'm very much grateful on the behalf of all the from my university authorities for that purpose. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nangode, sir. Really, today we have very great personality as a chief guest to our valedictory function. Thank you, sir, once again. I think so. Director of Research were not able to join due to some technical problem. So moving forward, we'll listen the views of trainees who have attended this training program. So first of all, I request Dr. Veena Sharma from Sher-e-Kashmir University to share her views regarding this training program. Veena Sharma, can you hear me? Are you audible? Can you listen? Dr. Veena Sharma from Sher-e-Kashmir. Yes, she is here.
Ma'am, you have to unmute yourself.
Is it? Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Good evening, everybody. Myself, Dr. Veena Sharma, Technical Officer, come Assistant Professor from Agromet Section, SCOS Jammu. I'm highly grateful to CAST, CITED and team for organizing 3 days training program on writing research papers for high impact factor journal and effective research proposals. It will prove highly useful in framing research papers and projects. I have written just 15 research papers in the career of my 7 years, up to the NAS rating of just 5.5. But now I hope I can submit papers in journals with a higher NAS rating. Training program included lectures from introduction of journals to funding agencies, to research project development, mistakes in writing, proposal writing, and plagiarism. It was complete package to make the researchers well equipped with the knowledge
There is some technical problem, I think so. Ma'am, you are not audible. There is
Next
some.
one, sir. Please, next one.
Yes.
Next one.
Now we'll Mr. Abdul Abu Nair, Assistant Professor from Integrated Institute of Agriculture Science and Technology, Lucknow. Nair, sir, from Lucknow. Can you hear me, Nair, sir?
I think he's having technical issue.
Yes,
Please, sir.
we'll move forward. Just Dr. Jitendra Kadam, sir, from Kokon Krushi Vidyapit, Dapoli.
Nair is ready, sir. 1 minute.
Okay.
Hello, Nair. Nair, sir, please.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible. Please share your views, sir, regarding the training.
I am audible, sir.
Yes.
Sir, the today's presentation is very nice on plagiarism. We write our paper, and this seminar training program is very good, sir. Very helpful to us for entire sessions.
Thank you, Nair, sir. Thank you. Next, Dr. Jitendra Kadam, sir, Assistant Professor. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I am audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir. Please share your
Thank you. It is my great proud privilege that I am giving the concluding remark of this training program, writing research papers for the high impact factor journals and the effective research proposals. I am very much thankful to organizer for giving me the opportunity. I am thankful to Dr. S.D. Gorantiwar, sir, the convener of this training program, co-convener Dr. M.G. Shinde, sir, organizing secretary M.C. Ahire, sir, co-organizing secretary Sachin Sadapur, sir, training coordinators Garge Madam, Sange sir, Tambal sir, and the today's chief guest, Honorable Dr. P.S. Pandey, sir, chairman of the today's function, Dr. A.S. Dhawan, sir, who is the Vice Chancellor of the UNMKV as well as the MPKV Rauri. I am also thankful to today's special presence, Dr. Gadak, sir, Director of Research, MPKV Rauri, and Dr. Farande, sir, Dean, MPKV Rauri. We have learned a lot of during this training program, especially we are the scientists we are working hardly, but we are fails to interpret the data. And that's why, even though we are popular among the farmers, we cannot present ourselves in the high impact journals regarding our research area. So with these 3 days, we have got a lot of information from these different sessions from the Dr. Sudhir Kumar Singh, sir. We have got the information regarding the what type of these impact journals or the how to get write the different articles or research papers in the high impact journal factors. Then Mr. U. Bhale sir told us the different funding agencies. There are the number of funding agencies which are present in the nationally as well as those are funding internationally. More than 66 national funding agencies, they are told the names and how to approach them, how we can write the proposals for them. So that will be the help to credit our university for writing our new and the different proposals, for getting the financial help to me as well as our university. Dr. Manisha Paliwal cleared all the basic concepts with the panel discussion with our participants regarding the research project development. Our language teacher, Mr. Thomas Viven sir, told us what are the common mistakes that we are doing while writing any scientific documents or writing any scientific articles. So that will be the help to avoid these common mistakes, writing in the different theses as well as some project proposals. Today we have got opportunity to listen the 2 topics, especially that are the how to design that project and which focus area or which topics we have to select. Because traditionally we are selecting on the different package of practices. Now there will be the number of crops. There will be package of practices will be the standardized, and we have get the sufficiency in the production of the food grains as well as in the horticulture crops. But the news areas, so that will be the demanded for the project proposals that got the information from this lecture. And in the last lecture, Dr. Syed Rahiman Khadri sir, they have guided us regarding the different plagiarisms, how to check the plagiarisms, how to avoid these common mistakes while writing any scientific document. So this training will be very much useful for us or like our university scientists as well as our students, so that they can get into final proposals to avoid these common mistakes. So I am thankful to organizer for giving me this chance to give my remarks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Dear participants, your feedback is very valuable for us, but still be in brief, I think so. Moving forward, I request Dr. Sarvesh Kumar from Jawaharlal Nehru Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, MP, to give his view regarding this training program. Dr. Sarvesh Kumar? Yes,
sir. I am audible.
Yes, you are audible. Please.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Very good evening to all the respected dignitaries, participants. As I am Dr. Sarvesh Kumar. As a participant of this virtual training program, I would like to say that it was a very nice experience for me being a part of this virtual training program. I could learn many new research dimensions for writing good papers for high-rated journals. I am also thankful to all the organizers for selecting me for this training program and also for conducting this program nicely. As per my view, all the deliberations of the respected speakers were very fruitful and much fitted to the course curriculum. That's why this training will be very fruitful to all the people. So this is all. Once again, I thank you very much to one and all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Now, Ms. Suchata Bhosle from MPKV Rauri. Suchata Bhosle from MPKV Rauri. Suchata Bhosle. I think so. She is not available, or due to some technical problem, she can't join. Okay, moving forward, with permission of dignitaries, we'll have the distribution of certificate online. Then I request Dr. Ghadge ma'am and Engineer Mohsin Tamboli to please distribute the certificate online.
Dr. Sadafar, just a minute. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. A.S. Dhawan has joined the program, though he is traveling from Dhule to Nandurbar. If possible, I would like to request our Honorable Vice Chancellor to please say hello to our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. P.S. Pandey. Sir, please.
Unmute.
Sir, please unmute yourselves.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah.
Dr. Gorantiwar, am I audible to you? Because I have joined from Dr. Devkar's mobile.
Achha, you are audible, sir. You are audible, sir.
Yeah. That's
yeah. Our chief guest has
there is some technical snag in my mobile.
Yeah.
So I have to contact from my mobile and talk something to you.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you for joining, and with our permission, we continue with the program. And we are sure that you can join.
Maybe I have apprehension of losing the contact again during journey.
Yeah.
Because we are passing through a very rough road.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Just for a couple of minutes, I will talk to you people.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall I start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Dr. P.S. Pandey, other dignitaries, the organizer of this program, Dr. and his colleagues, and dear participants. At the outset, I extend my hearty congratulations and compliments to Dr. Sunil Gorantiwar for taking initiative in organizing this training program on a very important thematic area, how to write the articles in the journals of high impact factors. Friends, as you know that the publication of the faculty members in a high quality journal goes a long way in improving the rating of an academic institution. As we have been observing since last few years that ICAR is very attentive about the assessment of the institutions, and there the quality publication is one of the important aspects which is being taken into account. And I understand that many of us do a very good research work, but we fail to document it in an appropriate way and in a most effective way. So right from the choice of the research topic, implementation of the research work, and unless and until we write the outcome of the research in a journal of high, almost incomplete. So it is in this context that Dr. Gorantiwar has taken on a virtual mode, and I'm happy to witness that many of our scientists across all the beyond Maharashtra as well, they have participated in this training program, and as I listen to some of the reactions and the acknowledgements of the participants that this training program was of a great
Sadafar sir, I think there is some technical issue.
Yes, due to range problem, I think so. Sir has been disconnected again.
No. He has muted again.
Hello. Dr. Sadapur, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Audible, sir.
Okay, I will not give a lengthy speech. I extend my good wishes to all participants, and again compliments to all of you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. And
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Really, our Vice Chancellor is inspiring power for all our universities, because he is having charge of Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapit Rauri, and also he is a very busy person. He has graced this occasion by giving words to all our participants. Thank you, sir, once again from all our participants and from Kasam scheme. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, may we move forward for distribution of certificate? Now I request Dr. Gadge ma'am and Dr. Engineer Mohsin Tambuli to distribute a certificate online with the permission of the dignitaries. Dr. Gadge ma'am.
Yes, sir. Miss Jyoti Bala.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Dr. Sadapur, sir. Now we are going to distribute certificates to the candidates as a representative purpose. We are distributing 5 certificates over here. All the participants to turn on their camera or video for taking online group photograph. One of our coordinator will capture the photo. So now I'm going to announce the names of participants who received the certificate. First certificate goes to Miss Jyoti Bala, Soil Science and Agriculture Chemistry, Indira Gandhi Vishwavidyalaya, Raipur, Chhattisgarh. Second, Mr. J. Anbarasu, agronomy student from Tamil Nadu Agricultural University. Next is Mr. Ashok Kumar, student of Acharya Engiga Agriculture University of Agronomy. Next is Mr. Milan, professor of Extension Education Section, College of Agriculture, Akola. Next is Sharap and B, Department of
Next is Dr. Milind Kisan Rathod, Professor of Extension Education Section from College of Agriculture, Nagpur, Dr. PDKV. Thank you, all the participants, and congratulations for getting your certificate. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Sachin.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Respected Chief Guest, sir, in this 3 days training program, we have conducted 6 sessions, and these 6 sessions were headed by eminent scientists, great experts. Those have given very nice guidance to all our participants, our academicians, our faculty members, our students. In that, from that experts, some experts are present here. So I request experts to give their remarks regarding this training program. First of all, I request Dr. Syed Fajal sir, Syed Fajal Khadri sir, to give your remarks regarding this training program. Right, Dr. Syed sir.
Thank you so much for your
thank you
for this one. Actually, indeed, it is very useful program. What I learned from the conductors, actually, it is very useful for the researchers, particularly regarding to know how to write the research papers, and that's the reason why I showed a few of my high impact fact journals, so that students or the researchers will get motivated. And then plagiarism is also one of the aspects one has to take care, because now it is mandatory to follow the UGC guidelines 2018. So I thank the organizers for this program, which is well organized and is very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Khadri sir. Thanks for your valuable time and guiding our participants. Now I request Dr. S.K. Wadkar sir to give your remarks.
Yes, at the outset, I thank all the organizing team, MPKV Rahuri team, right, for organizing such a wonderful online 3 days training program. And the topic is very much relevant in the present context, where basically the faculty, everyone in their appraisal, they ask for the high-rated journals publication. So within that context, basically you have rightly identified the theme for this 3 days online training program. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk in this concluding seminar, and then more upon that, inviting me to deliver one session. So in that session, I just try to give that kind of a perspective to look at the research proposal from the funding point of view. That's what actually I stressed upon. So there are very key aspects generally most of the time we missed out basically. And then from that funding point of view, those pointers are very much important, which I shared in my lecture. So I hope the participant must have been benefited out of that. So thank you once again, and then hearty congratulations to entire team of these MPKV Rahuri. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adka sir. Thanks a lot. Now I request Dr. Sudhir Kumar Singh sir to give your remarks.
So, yeah, good evening to all of the dignitaries, Dr. ADG Pandey sir and Vice Chancellor Dhawan sir. Actually, as you know, as most of the time people, when we start our career, so most of the time people stuck actually in writing, how to write a scientific research article, and where we have to submit that article, and what kind of reviews we receive. So this is really a like what we can say, that this is really a good platform for the basically young researchers and for the faculty members, and even for us also, because that is not my field of expertise actually. But when I received this invitation to give a talk, so that time I had read many things, and also whatever the knowledge I have gained during past 15 years, I just share with you. So maybe some of you like, hello, yeah, maybe some of you like want to explore more. So I basically suggest to the researchers, we have to focus on some scientific research issues, okay, and then target the good impact journal. So that is my suggestion. And also I am again congratulate to all the cast members of team who has given me the opportunity, and I will always be a part of, like, whenever you just invite me, or whenever you need my any suggestion or any help, then I will always guide you. So good evening again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Singh sir. Really, all the experts, your remarks were very valuable for us, and whatever training you have given to our participant, it will really benefit our participant in future. Thanks a lot again. Now we are eager to hear our chief guest. So I request our chief guest, respected Dr. P.S. Pandey sir, Honorable ADG, Agriculture Education Division, ICAR New Delhi, to address our gathering, sir.
I'll take 1 minute. I have to send one just message to PM. Just yes. I'll take 1 minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In this training program, we have conducted 6 sessions, and really all the sessions were very innovative, and really all sessions will help our participants for publishing their research articles in high impact factor journals, and how to prepare the proposals, research proposals, and what are the new funding agencies. So really this training program was very nice and very beneficial for all the participants. All the participants, some representative participants have also given very good views regarding this training program. And our experts, all the participants are also requested, if do you have any ambiguity regarding this publishing our research paper, you can contact our experts.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Sabko sadar namaskar. Namaskar from my side, or very good afternoon to everyone. Well, friends, it's a very, very pride moment for me. I think I am audible. Okay? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, sir, you
So
are.
it's a very pride moment for me. The very esteemed Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. A.S. Dhawan Saab, my colleague friend, Dr. Milind Ahire, and the organizer of this program, Dr. Sunil Gaurinotiar, nodal officer of this very prestigious university, that Dr. Nangude, Sachin Nangude, all the deans, directors, all the participants attending this meeting, and the person who are already associated with the Facebook and other media and listening this training program. So I am very much grateful to the Honorable Vice Chancellor for giving me the opportunity to come over here and to see this CAST program being organized by this MPKV Rahuri. Friends, as you know that this CAST program, that is under the NHEP program, that is our National Higher Agricultural Education Project of the World Bank, very prestigious project to a very prestigious university, that is MPKV Rahuri, and that too most pertinent areas, that pertinent area, that is the climate smart agriculture. You see, the university is very lucky to demonstrate the new developments, the new IT tools, all the recent developed, discoveries in the field of information and communication technology to address the climate smart agriculture through this CAST program under this university. And I am very much happy to know that the university has organized this very important topic of writing research paper for high impact factor journals and effective research proposals. This is a very, very important one. And this is the area where we need the capacity building. I'll share some of the experiences that what we have learned, what we have demonstrated, and what we have facilitated. As you know that capacity building is very, very important component of our National Higher Agricultural Education Project, as well as the Indian Council of Agricultural Research. As you know that we always work in a partnership mode with all the agricultural university through 74 agricultural university across the country, and where we focus the quality agricultural education. And this is the education where all, whoever is sitting over here, we have passed through these phases. And we have our own experiences during our student life, during our research life, during our management life. And that's why capacity building is very, very important. If you want to make any country very healthy, very, very prosperous, very vibrant, the very first requirement is the quality education. The very important aspect is the capacity building and human capital. Until unless our human capital is very strengthened, very strong of any country, we cannot imagine a very vibrant country. And that's why ICAR always emphasize on the capacity building program. And for that purpose, our agricultural education division, that is completely dedicated for the quality education in the country in higher agricultural education. And this is the, again, that what we provide support to the universities. We try to, under different schemes, under different, projects, we provide support. We try to, have that a very good, a very quality capacity building program. And these are the capacity building program where every time we are getting something new, and whatever the future threats are there, also we have some of the schemes where to address what should be the foresightness of our researchers. What are the threatening areas coming are expected to come in those areas? We cannot start capacity building program when it comes to us, but we have to think and well in advance we have to prepare. And that's why, I'll come to your specific topic, but before that, I'll share some of the experiences of the human resource development. As you know, that agricultural education division every year in the normal case, we provide, funding support to the almost all agricultural institutions in the country, universities for conducting, we have the 40 Center for Advanced Faculty Development Centers, 40 locations we have. And every year, 4 to 6 training programs, these craft centers, they are conducting. And, a lot of, capacity building program of our faculty that is going on across the country. And this is not only one program, but another program also. We have a program of our another, say, winter and summer courses. From time to time, we decide the topics, we decide the themes, we invite the proposals, and accordingly, there also some people apply, and very few people get that proposals, approved. And that's why how important this training will be to begging that, the proposal to receiving your funding support, that will help. Similarly, in case of our niche area of excellence program, we establish the niche area of excellence centers across the country, where we are expecting that our new students, this is the center for the knowledge generation for our coming students, the faculties, and we strengthen them. And from time to time, we also ask to them to have a kind of capacity building program, training programs in those new areas, in the frontier area, so that at least our faculties in agriculture and our student in agriculture doing research at master degree and PhD degree, they may be benefited out of this kind of the schemes going on. And a lot of, we could see a lot of success stories are with us, and a lot of happenings already has taken place. And I'll give one example to my own experience of our earlier World Bank supported project, that was the capacity building program. And under that capacity building program, that was the 100 crore rupees programs, where the persons from our universities, the State Agriculture University, as well as the ICR institutes, from all categories, not only scientists, but the technical also, but the financial people also, but the administrative people also, our librarians and other people also, they were sent abroad in the world-class laboratory. Our students, they visited under our NHEP program in the world-class universities, where they can go and see. They stayed 2 to 3 months there, and once they return, we have also that study also with us, and how it impacted the same training program which you have just done for the 3 days, that how they are now, they are earlier they were not even thinking, they were thinking to write 5 to 10 lakh rupees project proposal. Once they got this kind of training program, they were always thinking to write not only in lakhs, but in crores of the proposals. That kind of capacity building that happened, and this is the result of a capacity building, that their thinking, their way of presentation, their confidence, that has increased many folds, and that's why they were very much benefited out of this kind of training program. And we have identified the areas, which areas where our expertise are not available. Now we are talking about, if you see our even UG course curriculum, there are topics, new areas topics like how you are going to apply the drones application, but who will teach that how application of drone, how the drone is constructed and how application is being done, until unless we do the capacity building of those faculty, until unless we depute those persons. Artificial intelligence is going to be a very important aspect of life. Like earlier, our grammars and backgrounds and other things. Earlier it was there. Now you see, when computer came, computer was very much everyone was afraid of that. This is a very big thing, very complex thing. But now you see, without computer, without your mobile phone, no one can even if you want to punish him, simply tell him don't touch half an hour this phone. See the power of technology. See the environment of technology. You see the ecosystem of the technology. How the same technology, when at one time it was so complex, has become so simple. And that's why artificial intelligence is coming in that big scale, when everything will be based on these kind of things. So, my dear friends, this training program is going to help you a lot. I am talking about, that what is the required at present. We need the requirement of the what kind of capacity building is required. What kind of training program is required. Training program in your university, training program in your institutions. You need training program for your individual scientists. You need your training program for the persons who are operating your very complex machines and equipments. Simply, we are directly giving that, okay, you go and just start operating these kind of complex machines and crores machine without that kind of training. So there are so many protocols for operating those kind of training machines. So for that purpose also we need a training program. The training program for the leadership. We need leaders. Out of you, some people are going to become director, some people are going to become the vice chancellor of your university. So from beginning itself, their hand holding, until unless we do from beginning, it is not going to happen. So leadership building is also one of the areas. The educative development program for our principals and deans and directors, that is also required. And for that purpose also, the capacity building program that is very much required. You simply imagine the situation of your technology being generated by all universities, all ICR institutions. And the inventor, invent the things. The point is how to commercialize those things, because that if I am inventor, I cannot be a commercialized person. I am not master of how to do this commercialization. I don't know how to do this patenting. I don't know how to do this packaging, labeling, etc., etc. But for that purpose also, we need to have a kind of system in the university and institute to have this kind of training program to manage our intellectual resources, intellectual properties, so that at least this is also very important one for having this kind of training program. You see, imagine the universities are having 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 acres and acres of land. But have you realized how many times those farm managers who are managing the farms, they have been deputed for capacity building programs or for deputed for the other program, how to manage this kind of land, how to get the most efficient way of how to generate resources. Until unless we do that kind of training program for the even farm managers also. The persons, even SS grade, the supporting staff, until unless we trained them. Simply take example of person, your own messenger or skill or multitasking person, what today we are calling them as MTS person, working with you, until unless, because you see, I am working here in the office, and many vice chancellors on daily basis, they visit us, and if a person is not well trained how to talk with such kind of dignitaries, how to behave with such kind of dignitaries, do we think that how they will feel, how the system will work? So that capacity building program, their human resource management, of those people are also required. Another example, you see that in your university and other, institutions, you have the drivers also. How to, sometimes you see the same university, you take your old persons, you take some new person, you take some mediocres, and you see the kind of difference, how they behave, how they drive, how they manage the time. That matters a lot. But once you give a training for them also, how to do the time management, how to, behave to your officers, a big change you will see, a big change you will see. And that's why the capacity building program is very, very important for any institutions, and particularly for academic institutions. So training need is very important for any institutions, and there should be a list of training needs, what kind of training needs, of what kind of person, of what kind of category is required. Every institution should have their certain policies for the human resource management, for the human resource development, both. So if you have that kind of training program, certainly this is going to help you. And certainly, I'll give one of the example that when we deputed, persons to abroad, even Harvard, our people went, then they went to the Switzerland also Management Institute. Once they returned, we invited all those people at one place here at Delhi, and we could listen them at least 15 minutes from everyone. And you will not believe the pin drop silence. Exact no. So it was so impressive, and the kind of presentation it was made. And after that, they shared that once they returned back from the training program, how they have impacted, how many publications they have made, how many of projects of what budget they have bagged. That was tremendous. That was very statistically very significant. And that same thing I am expecting once you return from this training program, because now you are well aware about these are the way of writing, research paper in high, impact journals, research proposals to bag your, good projects of high amount, high quality research. So that thing you are going to certainly do. What I could see that many of us, we are very hardworking, day and night we are working. But at the same time, when it comes for the writing the proposals, writing the research papers, we are not that much of the confident that our paper will be published at these places. We all, most of the time, in most of the cases, I have seen the people, they underestimate themselves. Once they get 2, 3, 4 papers well published, then their confidence, starts building, and then they develop that kind of expertise. I'll urge all of you that please try to have, you submit your paper, whether it is accepted, it is rejected, give in good rating journals, and certainly once, even if it is rejected, they will give certain comments. Once certain comment will come, you improve it, give to some, if it is accepted in same journal, it's okay. If it is not accepted, you give in some other journal. Day before yesterday, last 1 month back, I submitted one paper. Day before yesterday, the paper was rejected. And certainly that is the most valuable project paper I know, that once it will be coming in the public domain, certainly it is going to make a big change for the agricultural education and researchers, how our scientists, their own productivity, or scientist productivity, how it is going to affect, what kind of productivity we have analyzed across the country, across the universities. So that is the main theme. But once it is rejected, doesn't mean that I should be discouraged. Certainly it will be published somewhere. We are that much confident. And so my request to all of you, try to again, send it, your papers, try to get not in one journal, but in another journal, and certainly you will be able to win the race. Similar case for the, if you see the journalist, a journalist, by seeing his face, you cannot imagine that what kind of same story, simply you discuss 2, 3, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and within 10 minutes, the kind of story they make, the kind of title they make, or based on the small, your 15 minutes discussion, they describe the entire thing. They describe in so effective way. So that is the way of the power of the communication. And I do hope that after this training program, you are going to communicate your paper with the same, zeal, with the same strength, with the same power. So that way you are going to do. Friends, plagiarism is a really very big challenge nowadays. And today, if you see that during this COVID period also, you have taken exams in abroad also, even the students, they are asked to submit their assignments. But those assignments, even the open book system is also allowed in the examination. But once your result is, the writing of the things are, logged, you cannot change it. And once it is logged, it will go through the again plagiarism check. And once that amount of plagiarism, what amount of plagiarism is there, based on that, your again evaluation will be done. So not only copying from one place to another place, but this is a very important one, even from your assignment. And in coming time, the days are coming when everything will be again, it has to pass through this channel, so that, that duplication and plagiarism, that cannot be, repeated. And at certain extent, to the allowed limit only it should happen. So this is a very, very important one. There are a lot of venues are there for the researchers or your, getting the projects, and try to send again and again. Certainly you will be able to get the, your proposals approved. You will be getting funding support. There are so many venues, not only ICR, but it's a DBT, it is DST, it is, nowadays even banks are also supporting. Banks are also supporting many of the studies they are supporting. So you have to make that kind of bankable projects also, research projects also, in collaboration with the other institutions also. If you go and submit your proposals, certainly you will be able to get this kind of, but very, very important is that how you are writing, your way of your patience and your patience, both are very, very important. So with this, I do hope that this training program is going to be very, very beneficial to all of you. And I have heard about some of the feedback. It was very encouraging feedback, and certainly this training program, they will be very much benefited out of this kind of training program. And certainly I'll at the last, I request the university to have a kind of group, so that you can at least put a track that how these people are performing over the period, so that at least you will be able to know that what kind of, this impact cannot come tomorrow. The training program, it will not give the impact after tomorrow or day after, or after 1 week, 2 weeks. It will take time. So my request will be, my past experiences are, you please try to have a track of all these your trainees, all your participants, and they should also not hesitate to give their feedback and how this training impacted them after a certain period, when they are submitting project, when they are getting their paper published. So that kind of, group, that kind of database, that kind of WhatsApp group or Twitter group, they should have, so that at least they will be able to track the entire, flow of the training as well as the impact of the training, so that after 2 years, 3 years also, you'll be able to give the, impact of the training. So with this, I express my sincere gratitude to the, and thanks to the Honorable Vice Chancellor, and in particular, Dr. Milind Ahire, who contacted me. And when he contacted me, though I was having another meeting, I have skipped a little bit. I'll again join to that meeting. So with this, I'm very much thankful to all the audience also. Very good audience listening, no hindrance in between. So I'm very much grateful to all of you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir. It was very good experience again on this online platform. The knowledge speaks and wisdom listens. So you rightly said that capacity building and strengthening human capital is very important for quality education. And quality education is very important for making our country vibrant. Thank you, sir. I thank you and ICR Nayak project, under which our Caste Kasam project is doing the work regarding capacity building and research and extension. Thank you, sir, once again. Now we are coming to the end of the program. The most important part of the program, vote of thanks. For that, I request co-PI of this project, respected Dr. M.G. Shinde sir, to propose vote of thanks. Respected Dr. M.G. Shinde sir, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sadafar. It is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks during the valedictory function of this 57th online event organized by the CAST project of Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapith Rauri. I am very much thankful to our respected Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. A.S. Dhawan, Honorable Vice Chancellor Vasantrao Naik, Marathwada Krishi Vidyapith Parbani, and also Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapith Rauri. In spite of traveling through a difficult terrain, he could make it possible to attend this program, valedictory program. For your motivation, I am very much thankful to today's chief guest, Dr. P.S. Pandey, Assistant Director General, Education Planning and Home Science, Agriculture Education Division, ICR New Delhi. Sir, for accepting our invitation to be the chief guest for this function and enlightening all the audience, all the trainees about the importance of these research papers in good impact factor journals, and also effective research proposals, and also effective communication. Sir, your speech as a chief guest will definitely motivate all these new trainees who are looking ahead for a bright career ahead. Thank you, sir. I'm very much thankful to Dr. S.R. Gadak, Director of Research, and Dr. A.L. Frande, Dean and Director of Instructions, Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapith Rauri, for their continuous support to these CAST activities, and they are our inspiration. Thank you, sir. I am very much thankful to the speakers of expert speakers of this training program. Dr. Sudhir Kumar Singh, Assistant Professor, Department of Atmospheric and Ocean Studies, University of Allahabad. Mr. Bhale, Director, Udyam Info Solutions Private Limited, Aurangabad, Maharashtra. Dr. Manisha Paliwal, Professor, Vamnicom, Rauri. Dr. S.K. Wadkar, Assistant Professor, Vamnicom, Pune. Dr. Syed Fajal Rahiman Khadri, Professor and Head and Director, IQAC, Department of Geology, Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University, Amravati. Sir, special thanks to all these expert speakers for accepting our invitation and delivering very good speeches. Definitely, your speeches have enlightened all the trainees, and they will be motivated to write good research papers and good research proposals. Thank you very much. I am very much thankful to all the associate deans, Dr. Suryavanshi, Associate Dean, College of Agriculture, Karad, Dr. Khartade, Associate Dean, College of Agriculture, Nandurbar, all the associate deans, then all the heads of the departments, scheme in charges of Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapith Rauri. Then thanks to Dr. M.C. Ahire, Organizing Secretary of this training program, for selecting very apt topic at the right time for all these new and middle level career scientists and faculties. Thank you very much, sir. Then thanks to Dr. S.D. Gorantiwar, Principal Investigator of the CAST project, for leading this CAST team very successfully and setting, I would say, example of these online trainings because we started very beginning of the pandemic in the month of April, and it is almost 57th online training of this organized by the CAST project. Then thanks to Dr. Sachin Sadafar, Joint Organizing Secretary of this training program, for very nicely organizing and conducting this training program and also the valedictory program. Thanks to Dr. S.N. Gadge, S.A. Denge, Engineer Mohsin, Program Coordinator, for nicely managing the entire 3-day training program and the valedictory program. And thanks, finally, last but not the least, thanks to all the trainees, all the participants who very patiently participated in this training program. And also at the end of each lecture, they interacted with the speakers and clarified their queries. And thank you very much, all the participants, and see you again for the next training programs organized by the CAST Center. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, Dr. Shinde, sir. Really, this our training program will benefit our participants. Now I request Dr. Gorantiwar sir. Sir, do you want to have any short talk with Pandey sir?
It's fine. Yeah, please request Milind Ahire.
I think I missed the name of Dr. Sachin Nangude, Nodal Officer, in my vote of thanks. So thanks, Sachin, for introducing the guest. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for joining our program, and special thanks to respected chief guest, Dr. P.S. Pandey, please. And thanks to all again. And with the permission of chief guest, we may close this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Tambuli sir, you can end the program now.
Yes, sir.